Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Arsenal Sports. And today we are going to be doing our Golden State Warriors team preview. So John, kick us off with the starting lineup.
That's right, and the starting lineup for this year's Warriors is going to look like the following. At center starting, you're going to have Andrew Bogut. At power forward, Draymond Green. At small forward, Harrison Barnes. At shooting guard, Klay Thompson. And at point guard, the reigning MVP, Stephen Curry.
Right, and Stephen Curry had this to say about all the doubters talking about the Warriors and their play last year. I apologize for us being healthy. I apologize for us playing who was in front of us. I apologize for all the accolades we received as a team and individually. I'm very, truly sorry, and will rectify the situation this year. Wow. What a statement.
I know. I love that quote just because all the critics, all the people who are saying, well, they got lucky they faced teams that were hurting. Oh, they got lucky they didn't play, X, Y, and Z. It's just this is what they did, They can't change who they played. They can't change when they played them. They played who was in front of them and they beat them.
Right.
And they beat every single person who was in front of them, and they got to the championship, and I don't know how people can say a team that won, 80, how many games did they win? Not 80, but 60.
They won 67 games in the regular season.
Right, 67 games. I don't know how you can say a team that won 67 games in the regular season got lucky something like that.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, easily one of the best seasons of all time, and people are trying to take it away from them. Yes, Kyrie Irving was hurt. Yes, Patrick Beverley hurt. Yes, they didn't have to play the Clippers or the Spurs, although I would argue that they had the Clippers number for the past few years anyways.
I agree with you there.
Yeah.
I think the Spurs would have been an interesting matchup with them, but I still think that they were good enough last year to beat the Spurs.
Right. I mean, every championship team gets some luck. I mean, the LeBron team, when the Heat beat the Spurs and Ray Allen hit that three-pointer, if you're going to tell me that wasn't a lucky play when Chris Bosh gets the rebound and somehow Ray Allen's right there in the corner, I'm gonna call bullshit because that's a lucky play.
Absolutely.
So every team gets luck. Now, this lineup put together by Steve Kerr, so he moved Harrison Barnes into the starting lineup, moved Andre Iguodala to the bench, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But, I mean, this lineup, they are known for their ball movement. So, on average, they only hold the ball for about 2.4 seconds. They get the ball, they decide if they're going to shoot, they're going to dribble, they're going to pass right away. And that's why they have the fastest pace in the league last year, and I would expect that to continue this year. And the thing that we were talking about before the video about the Warriors that makes them so special is, yes, Stephen Curry is the MVP. Yes, Klay Thompson is their second leading scorer. But on any given night, someone will make a huge impact that you really don't expect to do so.
Right, absolutely. That's the most dangerous thing I think about this team is that how many teams can say that they have the reigning NBA Finals MVP as their sixth man?
Right.
That just doesn't happen, and they just have so much depth. They have so many good veteran players. They have some good young talent behind them on the bench. They just have so much. It's almost unfair. And like you said, anyone can go off and have a great night. If Stephen Curry isn't playing too well, Klay Thompson can pick it up. Or if the Splash Brothers aren't shooting particularly well, you have Sean Livingston who can come in and play pretty well.
Right.
He can move the ball. He can score a little bit for you. So they have a lot of options.
Right, and the guy we haven't even mentioned really yet, I mean, besides the introduction and the starting lineup, Draymond Green, I mean, he's the linchpin for this team. Without him, they couldn't have done any of this small ball stuff. I mean, they did a poll recently, the NBA general managers, and what they said was, what they're looking for now is the next Draymond Green, not the next LeBron James. Obviously, you can't find the next LeBron James because that guy's just going to show up at your doorstep whenever he comes, and we won't know when that will happen. But you can find a Draymond Green. I mean, this guy was the 35th, 36th pick of the draft his draft year. I mean, great player, guards 1 through 5 almost. He's astonishing in his improvement year to year. He's a three-point shooter now. He plays great defense. He's going to be up there again for Defensive Player of the Year. He really is the linchpin for this team.
Absolutely, and I think that this is a guy, like you said, he improves year to year, and he's only going to get better.
Yep.
He's only going to become a more effective player on offense. He's only going to get even better on defense, if that's even possible.
Right.
He's just the complete package right now, and he's just going to get better. And it's scary to think for this team that you have young stars like Draymond Green and Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry to build around, who have already shown so much and have already won a championship for your city, and Harrison Barnes, of course.
Right. So, like we mentioned, Andre Iguodala is the Finals MVP. He is the Swiss Army knife there of their bench. He can do everything from passing to scoring to playing great defense. He is the key to their. He's another great example of Warriors basketball. Now, beyond him on their bench, the projected 7th and 8th men for their team are Sean Livingston, can guard 1 through 3. Great player. Glad that he was a part of this Warriors team after tough time early on in his career. And Mo Spates, Mo Buckets. He's a great offensive player. He's going to get you around 9 to 10 points a game at this point in his career, but he is going to space the floor offensively. Now, in terms of other guys who can make an impact, John really likes Festus Ezeli. I do too. Right. He's a great defensive center. They have the Brazilian Blur, Leandro Barbosa. Brandon Rush is there. They brought in Jason Thompson this year through a trade. Kevon Looney's going to probably sit on the bench this year and develop, but you never know what could happen. Obviously, he
could in a few minutes.
Yeah, they obviously traded David Lee, but I mean, at this point, he was more of a inspirational kind of leader. He wasn't a big part of that team. He's just been there for so long. This team is really, they've established a continuity going forward. I mean, last year they were top 10 offensive and defensive efficiency. Only 2 other teams, Spurs and the Hawks, were in the top 10. Just shows you how great of an overall team this was.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a very historic, or last season was a very historic and special season for this team. And a lot of people, once they got to the playoffs, they said, okay, they won 67 games, but can they keep it up? And they did, of course, and they played extremely well in the playoffs. They showed that it wasn't too big for them. They were a very young team. People were still doubting them, of course, and they came out and they did it, and they beat the Cavs on in 5 games in the finals on the biggest stage.
6 games.
They played extremely, extremely well.
Right. No doubt. The Warriors are legitimate. They are going to contend again for a title this year. And if you don't think they're going to be there at the end, then if you don't think they have a shot to be there at the end, then you're wrong.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's a wrap from us. Please tell us what you think in the comments below and hit that subscribe button. Thank you.